Tractate Sanhedrin, page 69. Today, we're not only going to deal with the continuation of the subject of the previous daf, which is the recognition of the process of the pregnancy, which is the whole halachic issues involved with specific cases, such as stages between 3 months, 7 months, 9 months of pregnancy, and much more. But we're going to have practical implications that are going to be derivative from this session. I would like to begin with a well-known responsa of a great rabbi by the name of Shlomo Eiger. By himself he was a great man. Obviously he followed his great father, well-known posek, well-known rabbi. It was at that time a great poverty in Eastern European Jewish community, and it was a young, poor, married woman that her husband passed away, and she married someone, but unfortunately it wasn't follow the Jewish law and tradition, which is the 3 months period, but earlier. For those who are not familiar, we required a period of 3 months if woman gets either divorced or lost her husband, to wait a period of 3 months. This is pre-DNA, but anyway, is the idea to make sure that the baby that will be born, it's from the next husband. So in case the husband, for example, passed away or they got divorced, we required a waiting period of 3 months, and then she can get married, and then we have no issue with the child that come out of that union. But unfortunately at that time, excuse me, the case that brought to Rabbi Shlomo Eiger was a painful case of a married woman, very, very poor, that her husband passed away, they no children, but she married someone very shortly afterward. Now the problem is that the second one unfortunately also passed away, but she was pregnant. Now the problem is we have this type of safek, this type of quandary, if this is a baby from the first or from the second. The problem with that is, as we learn in Tractate Yevamot and Ketubot, we have the law of Yibum and Chalitza, which is the question is, if the baby is from the first husband, then there is no need for the brother of the second one to have an act of Chalitza, versus if it was from the second husband. And the problem with that is how you treat it, and you just take her words. Those days wasn't DNA by any means. So, but even you have the DNA, still not so simple to determine. So basically there's a Gdolei Poskim, is the greatest rabbi that get involved with this. Rabbi Eiger asked others to ask. One of them is the Yismach Moshe. The Yismach Moshe was a great posek, great rabbi. So he required her to do Chalitza, meaning a release from the surviving brother of the second deceased husband. You have some very interesting logical reasoning. Svara, he said that she named the child after the first husband, and she have some type of knowledge, you can argue even feeling, that from the first one. So the question is how he tried to bring the case of Tamar in the Torah. We read in the book of Bereshit the story of how Tamar, the biblical Tamar, have relation with Yehuda, her father-in-law, and as a result of that union, the Torah used the term Vayhi kemishlosh chodashim, that it was during the the 3 months, the early stage of the 3 months. So he argued, he said that that's the period that at least the mother of the baby recognizes and knows that she's pregnant. But you can argue that the whole structure of body and the nature and the period and the years and the way that we count things in the Torah, it's different. So that's basically part of our discussion. We'll start with the point of departures, that the Zman Hakarat HaUbar, the period of time that we recognize the fetus in the womb of the mother, it's basically equal. All the women have the same. That's the way we learn. In our days, as simple as the 9 months period. We have a situation of putting the young baby in the incubator when it's earlier, premature delivery. Here the Gemara tried to say that the base of the several statements of the Chazal, the sages, that 7 and 8 periods, at least in the Talmudic time, they treated many times as a nefel. Nefel is basically a baby that couldn't make it more than 30 days period. That's the key reason of the Pidyon Ben passing the 30 days of the firstborn son, because you have to make sure that it's not a nefel. So, as we said, that most of the poskim, the Ismach Moshe, the Shlomo Eiger, and others hold that Hishtanu Atvaim, nowadays the things change, but the whole idea of a baby that's born in premature way, such as the discussion of 7 months, how you treated the shlish, the 1/3, because we learned in the previous daf, the view of Rabbi Kruspedai, basically shlish, 1/3, so it's basically 2 months and 1/3. And as we said, that the whole serious implications is those cases of a divorcee or widow. So basically, if they come and ask us, it's a different story. We always said, we cannot marry you if you are less than 3 months period after burial or after the complete get and divorce. But in case like that, unfortunate people not come to ask, could not listen, then we enter to all those questions. So let's start on page 69, 23 lines from the top of the page. Yativ Rabbi Yaakov min har Pekod kamei de Ravina. It's name of location. Rabbi Yaakov set at this place, Nehar Pekod, front of a great rabbi by the name of Ravina. ויתיב וכאמר משמי דרב הונא ברי דרב יהושע, שמע מינם דרבי קרוספדאי, אמר רבי שבתאי, יולדת לשבעה אין עוברה ניכר לשליש ימיה. Here we are talking about a recognition of the fetus. And why it's so important? It's because, as we explained earlier, the Gemara in Tractate Yevamot, page 41, tells us clearly that we have to wait 3 months period in those two situations, divorcee or a widow. And therefore, the way you count, we try to use, soon you see the law of majority, how the rov, most of the ladies have it. But the key point here is the 7 month period, obviously, is the structure word. If you divide it into 3 and you go by 2 months and 1/3, this is not 3 months. And because of that, the question is, you have this problem that since the ubar not nikar, if the fetus is not totally clear there, so the question is, as we said earlier, if you have this debate, if it's from the first, the second, how can you treat it? It can be a big difference in cases like that. So he said, the isalka da'atach, that if you hold ubaran nikar lishlish yamea la lemishlosha bitrei utlita sagya. So if you tell me that the fetus can already be discerned after 1/3 of her days of pregnancy, which is after 2 and 1/3 months, so why did the structure of 3 months period from the time that the boy reaches adulthood till the end of time that he become liable as Ben Sora Mores, as stubborn and rebellious sons? Because that was the whole comparison we use, so they say, Amar lei le'olam ei malach ubara nikar lishlish yameha. So he said, yes, the fetus can already be discerned after 1/3 of the day of pregnancy. Okay, and the whole idea is zil batar ruba. We go by the majority. Most of the women deliver the child in the structure of 9 months period. As we said, it can be several days before or after the way they count it, but it's in general 9 months. And the way that ubar nikar, the time that you recognize the fetus, is the period of 1/3, which is the 3 months structure. So when we compare it, we juxtapose to Ben Sorer More, to a rebellious son's cases, so we can say that that's what we discussed yesterday. If the child can be called quote unquote father as a minor, as a katan, only if it was a period of 3 months after he reached the maturity. That's the way Rashi said. Only 3 months period passing that. That's the time that he recognized. The Abraham said that in some cases even it happened earlier, which is 2 months and 1/3. It's still considering a father, and therefore he's not under the structure of rebellious sons. That's basically what the notion that Rabbi Kuspedai presented. Amrua kamei de Ravuna bred Rav Yoshua amar lehu. Ravuna said, "Ubedinei nevashot mi'azlinan batar ruba." When it's come to capital punishment, that's a severe cases. Can you just say, because I'm going by statistic, I'm going by the law of the majority? So therefore, the Torah said clearly in the book of Bamidbar, book of Numbers, chapter 35, "Veshaftu ha'eda ve'etzilu ha'eda." So if someone killed and he turned to be unwittingly, unintentionally, so because the psukim smuchim, they connected to each other, we derive that whatever the Bet Din can rescue and save someone from death, which is judging favorably, will go for that. So the whole concept of Azdinan Batar Ruba, that we go by the majority, in a way we try to juxtapose two, so try to simplify things. We have in one hand Ben Sorer More, a rebellious son case, which is, we try to go to a notion that if we have less than 1/3, which is 2 months and 1/3, it's sufficient. And we derive from that the whole concept of less than 3 months, 2 months and 1/3, when it's come to ubar nikar, when you recognize the fetus. So the question is, since we talk in a structure of go by the majority, so, and we say that it's possible that after 2 months and 1/3 months, the stubborn, rebellious son, the Ben Sorer More, is too fit to be called a father. So ve'at amar bazil bataruba, and you'd say that we follow the majority. So follow the majority, meaning that we, hypothetically speaking, can give him the execution. So the question is, do you call him a father and give him the execution of stoning, or none? Not, especially when it's come to Dinei Nefashot, the capital punishment, and it's come to less than 3 months, 2 months and 1/3. The whole idea that Rov Nashim Yoldot Letish'a, that most of the women deliver the child in the time of 9 months, we have Gemara in Chulin page 11. The Gemara said that that's basically a general structure of a Heichad Aleta Kaman in general, but when it's come to Dinei Nefashot, the serious question of capital punishment, the Torah Chaim said that it's difficult. Rabbi Shlomo Eiger, Rabbi Akiva Eiger, and others dealing with all different cases, that it's in that stage between 2 months and 1/3 and 3 months, how far you go with that period, because Adwar Kamei de Ravina, So that's basically bring the claim of Ravuna Bred Ravushot to Ravina. Amalu b'dinei nefashot lo azdina batar ruba. When it's come to a capital punishment, capital law, we do not follow the majority. Vatnan, that's a Mishnah we studied earlier on page 40. Echad omer, if one of the witnesses come and said, Bishnayim b'chodesh, ve'echad omer b'shlosha, eidutan kemet. You have one guy that said that incident happened the second day of the month. The second witness come and said it was the third day of the month. So we assume, those who know statistics, we assume that that's possible. That it's possible, and therefore we said it's true. אומרים בשלושה, עדותם קיימת, שזה יודע בעבורו של החודש, שזה אינו יודע בעבורו של החודש. So it happened that some of them are familiar with the months that it's the additional month. It's like the situation, like those months that we abrim otan, that we make it 30 or not. So one is erudite, one is familiar, one is not. But if you say that one follow the majority of cases in a capital law, so we cannot go that direction when it's capital punishment, so you can say that those two witnesses did it bedavka, this is it on purpose, which means each of them claim that it happens what in a different day of the month, and therefore you don't have edut mechuvenet, you don't have both witnesses the same day. And they basically, the way that they express themselves, they contradict each other, so you cannot combine them as one edut. So therefore you exempt the defenders from capital punishment. So why we assume that these witnesses made an error and we combine their witnesses, their testimony, even it's not the exactly same day, and we basically cause the person, when it's a capital law, to have execution. That we said even in the capital law we go by the what? By the rule of the majority. So you're going to tell me that most of the people, the majority, are up to make a mistake with regard to the addition of an extra day of the months? That's the way Rashi explained. Obviously, the Chidushei Aran and others said that the question is how far you go with expectations from people when it's this. The way we said that go by the majority. So you have this pasuk in Shmot 32 that said incline after the multitude, which applies the capital space. But the question is how far you go with that. Just because you said that most women given birth in 9 months, so that's final word. And in general, the whole concept of capital punishment. The problem is when it's come to dinei nefashot, when it's come to execution life of people, it's hard to say that you go also by the law of majority. But we try to go that direction so far, that we try to be persuasive and say that yes, we go by law of the majority even for the capital law. Amar Rabbi Yirmiyah medifti avanan mentanina. This is Gemara in Nida, page 44b. Bat shalosh shanim v'yom echad. So you have here a baby, a very young girl that's 3 years and 1 day. So general structure of halacha, so she's bat biyah regardless. So they said number one, mitkadeshet beviyah. So as the Mishnah in Kiddushin beginning said, as far as the betrothed, so it became betrothed. Again, it's hypothetical speaking. Even if it's told his father, she has the right to miyun. But anyway, v'im ba leha yavam, kna'a. Number two. Number three, v'chayvin aleha mishum eshetish, which is considering a married woman. Later Gemara explain what is that. Umetama et boala, she get a period, so the one is involved with avatuma. Letameh mishkav tachton ke'elyon. Number five, niset lechohen ochelet bitruma. So because if the father is Israel, she is allowed to eat truma. V'ibala echad min hapsulim, if kuti, halal, natin, mamzer, prohibited with her, psala min hakehuna, make her invalid for the kehuna. Number seven, ואם בא אליי אחד מכל הראיות אמורות בתורה, if any situation that the Torah prohibited, like father, father-in-law, so therefore, all of that, they deserve capital punishment by the best din, מומתים עליה והיא פטורה. So they basically executed by the court for engaging in intercourse with her, and she is exempt because she's a minor. So the Rashi explained that she's not barat onashin. Therefore, minor is treated as a minor. Page 69b, ve'amai. So why one who prohibited with a minor deserve execution? Eima ailonit hi ve'adata lehache lo kaddish. So you can say that she is undeveloped in the sense of the base development of a mature woman. So she is basically, in that sense, the kiddushin doesn't have chalot. It's kiddushei ta'ut, and therefore it's not the Gemara in Ketubot 11 we discuss ailonit. It's not the same as akara, that one cannot have children. The whole of body development, it's different. We learned also in Yevamot, page 80b. Anyway, אלא לאו דמרין על זיל בתרובה, ורוב נשים לא לא תינו. So you go by the majority. The majority of women are not in situations that are not undeveloped. So you have this assumption that is the betrothed was valid. So basically the capital law, we go by the majority. The Gemara rejected, said לא. מה חייב עליה? מה חייב עליה? לתקטן לקורבן. So you need to bring a korban. The whole idea of bringing a sin offering. But as far as liability, you don't have a liability to receive that penalty based on the majority. והוא מתין עדה קטני, זה עושה בבעלי האביה, והאם בא אליה אחד מכל הראיות, פטורן? אוקיי. והאם בא אליה אחד מכל הראיות קטני, לאחר מהסכן, דקבלה אליו. תנו רבנן המסוללת בבנה קטן ורבה, בשם אומרים פסלה מן הכהונה, אבל אלה מכשירים. So, Rashi in Yevamot 71 explain. Anyway, מאיר here. אמר רב חייא ברי דרבא ורב נחמני אמר רב חיסדא ואמר לה אמר רב חיסדא אמר זרע הכל מודים בין 9 שנים ויום אחד שביתו ביה פחות מבין 8 שאין ביתו ביה לא נחלקו לה בין 8 so the 8 years old that's the מחלוקת דבית שמאי סבר גמרין מדורות ראשונים וסבר לא גמרין מדורות ראשונים מדורות ראשונים מנהלן דאוליד I know the early ones have that אילם וכתיב לו זאת בת 7 בת אליעם אשת אוריה החיתי וכתיב אליעם בן אחיתופל הגילוני וכתיב האיש לארבע נתן אביו ויקרא את שמו ידידיה בעבור כי השם האבו, וכתיב היו לשנתיים ימים והיו גוזים לאבשלום, וכתיב אבשלום ברח ואלר קשורה והיו שם 3 שנים, וכתיב הישב אבשלום בירושלים לשנתיים ימים לפני המלך לא ראה, וכתיב היו מקץ 40 שנה ויאמר אבשלום אל המלך אלחנה ואשלמי נדרי, אשר נדע אל השם בחברון, וכתיב אכילוף אל רעה כי לא נעשתה עצתו ויחבוש את החמור ויקום מלך אל ביתו ואלירו ויצב אל ביתו ויחנק. So here you see Achitophel committed suicide at the age of 33, but he was already a great grandfather. He was of Shlomo of Solomon, who was son of Bathsheba. She was the granddaughter of Achitophel. וכתיב אנשי דמים יומה לא יחצו מהם ותנו כל שנותיו של דואג איננו ל-34 ושל אחיתופל איננו ל-33 כמה דאב יולות לתין ותלת דל 7 דאב ושלמה פשלו 20 בשיט דל תרתי שני לתלת העיבורי יש תקח כל אחד ואחד בתמנה הוליד. Age of 8. So that's the proof. The Gemara said that this 8 years old can, it's capable. ממאי דילמה תרווה ב9 הוליד ובת 7 הוליד בשיט ומשום דאית את הבריא תדעת לא אבל לבלד מעיקרה אלא מה חיילת ולא תרחתך הוליד אברהם את נחור ואת הרן ואברהם גדול מנחור שנה ונחור גדול מהרן שנה נמצא אברהם גדול 2 שנים מהרן וכתיב אברהם ונחור להם נשים ואומר רבי יצחק איסקה זו שרה ולם נקרא שמה איסקה that's famous ששוחה ברוח הקודש ואני בכתיב כל אשר תאמר לך שרה שמה בכל הדבר הכי איסקה שהכל שכים ביופייה וכתיב ויפול על פניו יצחק ואומר בלבו כמה קשיש אברהם ושרה 10 שנים וקשיש מעבו עד תרתן שנים ושתיקח כילדה הרן לשרה בתמנה הולידה. So Moshe said, how do you know that? ממאי דילמה אברהם זוטה דאחה ודאחו אהבה ודרך חוכמתן כך חשיב לו just the wisdom תדע דכך חשיב לו קרא דרך חוכמתם וכתיב ויהי נוח בן 500 שנה ולד נוח את שם את חם ואת יפת שם גדול מחם שנה וחם גדול מיפת שנה נמצא שם גדול מיפת 2 שנים וכתיב נוח ונוח בן 600 שנה ואמרו לה מים על הארץ וכתיב אלו תולדות שם בן 100 שנה ולדת ארפחשד 2 אחר המבול 100 שנה בר 100 ותרתן שנים אבל אלא דרך חוכמתם חשבים לו. We talk about the degree of wisdom. הכנה מדרך חוכמתם כחשיב להם. אומר רב כאן אמרית על שמתי כמי דרב זביד מן הארדיה אמר לי יתון מאח המתניתו ואנון מאח המתינתן לו שם גלת גמרו אבי קודמי עבר אחי יפת הגדול יפת הגדול שבאחיו הבא. אלא מנהלן מאחה ובצלם בן אורי בן החור למטה יהודה וכתיב ותמד עזובה אשת כלב ותיקח לו כלב ותפרע ותלת לו את חור וכי עבד בצלאל משכן בר קמא ובר תליסר דכתיב איש איש ממלכתו אשר הם העושים. בתנא שנה ראשונה עשה משה משכן שנייה הקים משכן ושלח מרגלים. וכתיב בן 40 שנה אנוכי בשלוח משה עבד השם ועתה הנה אנוכי בן 580 שנה כמה ואלו 40 דל 40 שר דאבה בצלאל פרשה לו 20 בשיט דל תרתי שני דרבולי ושכחת לכל חד והבטמן עולי. So basically the whole concept, see here the Kalev, it's fascinating to think that he was present at the Mishkan at such a young age. If you count the years, it's just beyond amazing to think how it works, that Kalev was 39 years old, Saba Rabba. Anyway, Ben ולא בת. So the Torah said, יש בן סורר מורה, it's a rebellious son. So there's a rebellious and a stubborn son, the penalty is a son and not a daughter. Tanya, אומר רבי שמעון, בדין ושתי בת ראויה להיות כבן סורר מורה. לכאורה, should be daughter the same as בן סורר מורה. שהכל מצוין אצלה בעבירה. אלא גזירת הכתוב היא בן ולא בת. So what the Meiri, the Radvaz, what is exactly the Torah edict here? But the key is that if you said that this is Gzerat HaKatuv, it's Gzerat HaKatuv. So the penalty for Ben Soror Moreh is imposed only upon the son and not upon the daughter.